有看到，就还是维持在刚刚的那个镜头的画面。
好，看不到我们的镜头。我不懂，我已经分享了，然后现在这个按钮不见了，重来好了。
怎么办？学长刚带我就让他失望。
应该是不会吧？
真的是。
加油 ！OBS 知道。音讯输入测试。
好，我再试一次哦。那个刚才因为他说网络问题，所以一直被断除。现在再试一次 share 那个影片。有吗？没有。好，我再试一次哦。那个刚才好奇怪，而且还没有办法。
没有办法用。
这是我们的电。有人有带笔电吗？
我有带笔电。
我可以用你的笔电。
但是我的笔电不能插嘛，因为它只有一个插 USB。
哦，你是哪个？ 想说应该是不是电脑神器？有人现在手上有那个 index 的任何档案吗？
我有云端的，在我云端的。
那你是有没有办法？
我看一下，除了他电脑，
我里面有 index。好，我们用另外一台电脑发不出去。稍等，我严重怀疑。开心。他写说那个我没有被 grant 可以share screen 的权限诶，小哥可以帮我看一下。哦，确实有可能啊，因为有开权限。有听到我说话吗？
我有听到，小柯有听到吗？
我看到我是口头的，我再试一次。
啊，有，
有了，一定有。
有，我看到了。
好，好，我试一下影片哦，大家听一下。
Design overview is a perfect technique for this. With the Design to Improve Life process, it's essential to present both your design process and final solution. For this technique, you'll need all the materials to showcase your whole design process, from start to finish, such as plans, data, interviews, sketches.
OK 好。
OK， 很清楚。
好，然后我 share 的时候会一起 share 那个影片的 audio， 到时候我这个麦克风会暂时关掉，以防有收到别的声音，这样听起来应该是清楚。然后现在换是 share 那个 PowerPoint。还有下载。对。哎，你们现在看得到我的 camera？ 不好意思，我是关。现在这样看得到？
没有，现在没有画面。
然后他下载一下那个 PDF 的东西，刚才因为网络没有断。好，所以那个这样 share 是没问题的，所以记得那天要开给我们这个电脑 co-host 的权限，才能 share。等一下要开给小欧。哦对，小欧他也会，他要 share 的东西吗？对。如果他这边可以 share，他就可以。当天会选开，好，谢谢。那个更新之后还没有任何档案可以选，也要等它下载，因为上面没有任何一个 PT。马上，其实好像有快一点那个网络，照理来说要比较快。
不好意思，有听到我声音吗？
有。
那我想问一下，那个单片影片是不是可以给我们连结，然后我们直接从直播软体这边去直播影片？
可以啊，我现在就可以传给你。
从直播软体去直播影片。
只有一个影片吗？
它会有3个影片。
OK， 好，然后补充一下，因为老师的声音比较不清楚。
下，我先在那个群组里面有这个影片，对。对，那个这先有个影片，你可以先测试看看你那边可不可以播，
好的，
在 LINE 群组里面。
我有看到。
你现在播放那个简报。
素萍姐，
是
当天会播放的影片就是给学员先看的这3部吗？
要再确认
那个可
好，
以
那就
问一下，
就如果说他有，等一下可以再确认他是不是有别的影片播放，那要影片播放影片也会请他提前给我们。
好，因为现在传的这个应该是需要密码的，对不对？
哦，index。
对啊，
密码是 index 吗？
INDX。
那个阿迪我有传在群组，那可是当天会播放的不一定是这个吧？可能要请Inday 那边再确认一下，看当天需要播放的是什么东西，然后我们事先给永成和阿迪他们，如果真的有状况，请他们从那边帮我们播。
然后我现在看到那个直播的影片里面，就是只有讲话的人的头像。
我权限是不是有消失？
对啊，
权限是不是有消失？可以看不到。
小柯，我们这边的那个分享的权限，可以麻烦再帮我们看一下吗？
好好，全部都是会议主持人呢。
那你们有看到我分享的吗？没有。
哦，看到了。
他来就看到一直在闪。你昨天说他那个监控表前，那个材料读档我要先建。对。那他是哪个项目要建吗？那新的095，我的意思是，我突然想到，你说他这个是之前他里面的，现在这边都要先建啊。那我到时候转。
这个是依婷的画面，不是我的画面，所以可以试试看。但我刚才
As you come close to the end of the design process, it's time for reflection and presenting.
有看到你的画面，我也来试试看好了。
有看到我分享的画面吗？
有，那换我试试看。
好，我关掉。
好。那我已经开了 PDF， 然后我要分享。
有看到我分享的画面吗？
有了，现在应该有了。
好，我关掉。
好。大家是不是有看到？
有了。
好。那当消是一个因为我刚才思维就是连要点都点不下去。我们回去会这样，因为我们电脑刚 refresh 可能有很多问题。好。
那个不好意思，你们那边有回音哦。
回音应该是有人没关麦克风。
我这边准备已经确认完了。
所以现在只要呈现对话提示是 OK， 然后声音其实 OK，camera 等我测试。camera 都 OK，camera 都 OK 吗？对，那就得开掉。这样他刚是完成。OK， 好，那我加入看看你们。这样，他的 camera 是不是很清楚？他们为什么会觉得这个要等一下，他会等一下。你看他在动，他就慢慢有人动了，他就跟他对准，这其实是在电脑里，对，应该是好。那他重新对准，没错。对，我到时候把那个设定改成，就是只有这样，不要他不会直接对，叫他不要往旁边去。然后，好，那至少代表 camera 是 OK 的，然后我们这台电脑就要重新测试，我们回去再测。然后至少 camera 是，不会以为有没有。因为它的 WiFi 有问题，因为我如果刚连 WiFi 好，我们用迷你设是很难。我现在升级了，好，所以一定当天要用以太网。对，如果用 WiFi，荧幕不连就不连。OK， 好，那等下就是。等下你用你的电脑，然后你接那个，因为测声音比较重要。好，因为 camera 现在确定 OK， 就跟对，跟小姚开始。
先用低卡的，是不是只能睡？
对，因为我们现在是我们要跟学校分析最重要的是他听得清楚，然后确定他边对我们有麦克他说，然后他讲话也都会这是
这条线的速度啊。
应该稍微
那还不错啊，有
对，因为他有试着用那个 WiFi 或者以太网络讲。那现在是以太，代表说以太网络 OK。
有时候很快啊。
对，那个 WiFi 也是不 OK 啊。就是如果我们之后要连的话，就还是要用以太网。那像因为现在是确定以太 OK。现在是电脑怪怪。对，是电脑本人的问题。因为如果刚用网路线，屏幕还是怎样啊？就是我们摄影机。
所以你现在用 WiFi 就会速度会掉。
对，速度会非常掉，所以可能就不管怎样还是要建议开。
我现在先去拿另外一台比较新的 APU， 好，然后把它拿过来，然后接在这一条，还是把它换掉，然后两个都再测看，看 WiFi 会不会变好一点点。哎，那你没有电源？
它是可以再测试一下。
没有吧？
应该一样吧。
我们测试先换另外一台电脑测试看看声音。麻烦你一对小哥。
哦，你的老六。
看看我讲动麦克风讲话的声音。再重新测试一次。你有听到吗
？As you come close to the end of the design process, it's
这边也有。
地方这样也都是很清楚啊，1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。
As you come close to the end of the design process, it's time for reflection and presenting.
有，我有听到你数到10。
好。那因为我们现在换另外一台笔电测试，所以等一下 index 小罗这边上线的时候，
随放无线充电桌，让充电随意放。现有的无线充电不好吗？在大部分日常使用无线充电产品时，我们发现大部分
确认我们的声音发音的基础，把它声音听得清楚之后，我们再来测试，再接上那个 camera 镜头，再测试镜头的效果。所以等一下要分2个阶段测试。因为我们原来用的那个电昨天才重新重灌，好像有点问题。还有另外一位是李场，他是我们的实习生，他这礼拜才刚来上班，还好今天把他带来。
就抱歉，我就没带太低，他就这里擦一下。
还好你有带。
就这条是。
然后现在老师在帮我们换网路线，看会不会快一点。
等一下嘛，如果要换网路线的话，
不是，我们现在是要测 WiFi， 对不对？
好，先测 WiFi 好，因为我现在是用自己手机网。那我先看 WiFi 连的还可以。
As you come close to the end of the design process, it's time for reflection and presenting.
WiFi 是310的。
310类，还是？
不是310 room，RO。
RO。
但是它有些线啊。
这线是？
你刚刚那条还有网络线吗？
我先把。
柯永成学长在吗？
那个我们现在重新连了一个网路了，那再请朱平测一看声音 O 不 OK， 有没有累的，可以吗？
现在讲话的很清楚。
这里很清楚。
测试声音，1、2、3、4、6、7、8、9、10，有清楚吗？
有，很清楚。
好，看好了。
那我们要不要再测？我换荧幕，
好，那我先把那个镜头。
那我这边会把麦克风。
这个就给它弄到。
或是换一个人当那个会议召集者都可以。可是奇怪，刚刚他基本你退那么多次都没事，这一次退就有事。
其他换主持人好了。
好，请一个人开过来。
你是，
哎，他们都来了。
对，上来了。
那应该是没问题。
那你要在测试放影片。
哦，可以啊，影片是您。
我们先有没有测试？
对，我们先测试那个影像。对，那目前看起来都没问题，就是我觉得流动性还蛮好。目前这样看起来，我自己真的这样看。
那你们小柯跟依婷，你看得到我们的镜头吗？
可以，但这边画面非常清楚。
对，应该蛮清楚的，因为连那个那个都没有，是代表说这个网络是 OK 的。
所以换一台电脑，换一个网络都比刚刚好。
对，镜头。应该画面蛮锐利的哈。对，没错。
声音的话，就会有装镜头，声音就比较小。这个比较小心。
因为我们没有镜头，但是我们对。如果我下一台换一台电脑，或者我再次用手机，对，都可以同时进行。我现在没办法跟所以。
好。那镜头 OK 的话，我们来测播放。
好，播放。对，我们分享。
好。
那这个吗？
第三个。Index
要大写吗？那现在我分享荧幕看看。你们这样有看到分享的影片吗？的那个页面。
有。
那我来播播看，看顺不顺，不要累。
and final solution. For this technique, you'll need all the materials to showcase your whole design process, from start to finish, such as plans, data, interviews, sketches, or prototypes. You might also like to use digital tools such as PowerPoint or Google Slides, and you'll need between 1 to 2 hours to complete. To get started, design teams set up their workstations using tables and wall space to
你在切大荧幕试试看。大荧幕啊，我看看它大荧幕是接哪一个东西，它是按那个。它可能不行，今天这一条挂不。对。好，那没关系。这就因为它的那个 HDMI 有没有 USB？ 你们的荧幕可以用转 USB 的吗？还是就一定要插这个？对，荧幕，因为我是苹果，它没办法，它只能用那个 Type C， 有没有办法可以接苹果
？Type C 更好哎。
真的吗？
啊，没有这台哦，这台是 Sonic 的，等下我看一下。Sonic 好像没有。
是你们有转接头？这转接头刚好我这边没带荧幕。
对，因为本来要用这台测，现在是没办法的话，比较好。
那这台，
你们想江湖救急，无机可救。
这台荧幕应该可以，电脑插上去直接在这边做。
有。
对，但是因为我们现在要用苹果测，所以
因为这台有问题，
对，有点小问题，
但是
就没办法，
没有转接头，
没关系，这个
那没关系，就
看
先这样。
看下次。其实应该，如果他这台分享 OK， 应该大家都 OK。对他唯一最厉害就是他分享的很漂亮，应该是没什么问题。分开测的话。
那我们会再到时候会再带另外一台，我们回去会再重新
看起来是这台电脑，
对，
对它那个，尤其是那个啊，这台画面只要能 OK，
因为他刚刚其实他分享画面，他的那个相机已经开了，去他的画面上那个没有，这时间上
对，那他应该自己跑的问题。好啊，这样子最好。好。没关系，测试一下，应该是。我先把我的声音这边全部都录掉。As you come close to the end of the design process, it's time for reflection
那个不好意思，有听到吗？
有，但我们先用测另外一台电脑，所以他这台电脑正在连网路准备登进去。
OK 啊，
然后就看看他那台，因为他那台可以插所有荧幕、声音跟分享，我们就再试另外一台备用机。
好，不好意思，那个荧幕分享的话，就是刚刚说的播放影片，一样是由我这边控制吗？我这边已经设定好了。
播放影片
还是老师待会要不要看一下效果，再来决定？好。
我把我麦关，以免回音。刚刚我们用那台就它荧幕整个都是雪花状，那台的问题。
我们现在是用原备的电脑，备用电脑。有人密码吗？有人要进来。我这个有。我们现在要测。
我们测荧幕声音测，然后跟分享影片。
哦，那有，你直接这样分享，你也可以分享。这个也可以。因为我好像没有。不然还有没有 Line？
这台是谁的信息？
我的，
那可以跟到其他东西。我可以把影片，对，那应该就欢乐100点。那我用信箱。
这样对，我已经有按。就是这里在镜头前，讲一下你的信息。万一但是我输入好你。说的。Hello， 小罗哥 ，Can you hear me？ 他说是 ND 小写吗？他们现在那个画面有吗？有吗？
As you come close to the end of the design process, it's time for reflection and presenting. Design overview is a perfect technique for this. With the design to improve life process, it's essential to present both your design process and final solution. For this technique, you'll need all the materials to showcase your whole design process from start to finish, such as plans, data, interviews, sketches, or prototypes. You might also like to use digital tools such as PowerPoint or Google Slides, and you'll need between 1 to 2 hours.
这里有回音，
有回音哦，刚刚影片有回音。
还是说我来播放影片，要测试看看吗？
等一下，我们丹麦讲师都上线了，我们就一起测试好了。
OK， 那 我把 YouTube 连接传到这里哦。
对，我们等下把麦克风
Hi, Charlotte. Good morning. Hi, Sarah. Good morning.
Morning. I must have joined another room. I heard the index video, or I don't know. There was one of the videos he sent you playing.
You can hear me, also can see me here on the video.
Hello. I can hear you now. Okay.
Also can see you.
Nice to see you too.
How about the sound? Now I'm speaking in the classroom, and this is our classroom workshop. And I'm going to the other end of the room. So let me know if you can hear my voice clearly. Hi. Can you hear me?
We hear you clearly, but it's also like, you know, there's how do you say this this tone around it, you know, it's echo, not necessarily echo, but just, you know, it's like when someone is speaking in a large room, it's like there's a little disturbance. The voice is not that concentrated or intense. I have to Google what is the English word for that. Just a second.
Now, standing next to the microphone. How
Yeah,
about the voice? Now?
that is better. When I Google it in Google Translate, sorry, the reverberation. Do you know what that is, Sarah?
Yeah.
Reverberation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bouncing.
Or like maybe. Yeah. But it's better if you're closer to the microphone, I guess.
Now I'm standing right next to the microphone. So
Yeah,
right
it's actually better now than just before. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to try again, and with the microphone and the other end of this room. So right now we still hear the echo of the sound. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bit more difficult now. The sound isn't as good now as it was before.
小柯，他说我用麦克风讲话在另外一头，他那边的声音会类似回音不太清楚。小柯。
哎，请说，你
听到我的声音吗？
有，目前听得很清楚，但是因为是现场声的关系，所以那个会稍微有一点 echo。 现在我的声音是听得到的吗？
Now what I'm trying is at the other end of the room the sound. If you are talking and we cannot hear very clear in the classroom. 他们再次从你把电视关掉。他刚把电视关掉。把电视关掉。那想段之前你可以再讲话看看，再出声讲一些话。
I'm speaking.
Can I ask something? Yes. Okay, I was thinking, do we need that? Do we need the participants or you people to talk from the back of the room at any point? When do we need this sound to be, you know, for this test? Because if the groups or the participants have a question, then they can have the microphone close to them and ask the question, or if they, because when they have discussions or something, then we don't need to hear it. Then they just discuss in the groups. What we need to hear from the room is more if there is a question from a group, and then they can get the microphone, or if you are asking us something and you will be closer to the microphone, because I don't think that Sarah and I will ever need to hear what is going on in the room as such. We just need more direct connection. So I think it's more important to test how, if a group is working and they have a question while they're working, or maybe they have a question in a sum up, then we have to test how to quickly give them the microphone so they can ask the question and we can hear it more clearly. I think that is more important to test. Because if, and when they present, maybe let's say they have to present a few times. They have to present, for example, their challenge descriptions. Then, of course, we will give them a microphone and they will be very close to the microphone. And it's not a problem when you talk close to the microphone. It's not a problem for us to hear it. It's more if you talk more in the room, there will be this kind of bouncing of the sound, so we can't really hear it.
Tell me, when the participants have a question again, because they will not log in to the meeting room, so they will use hand the person the microphone, so they can talk to the microphone, and also when the group is presenting, and we will also give the microphone to the group, so they don't need to go to the stairs.
Yeah.
Stay where they are. So now when you talk, can hear it clearly and the rest of the room. And now if I'm talking, you also can hear me. The sound is clear.
It's still a little, you know, for me at least, it's the sound is still very, how can you say, yeah, unclear, because it's, I think the room is kind of swallowing up, you know, the sound. So it's not, maybe the microphone needs to have a better connection, or, but I was just thinking, can I ask again, if, let's say a group is presenting their findings after, or a short presentation, then it needs to be translated, right? Because they will present it in Chinese, but you have to translate it. So maybe you can just sit very, very close to the microphone and close to, maybe closer, I don't know if it's the camera or whatever is here, because what is important for us to hear is what you are saying and not what the groups are saying, unless they say it in English.
OK， 就翻译直接跟前面就好。对，他麦克风跟讲者讲话是尊重，然后那个翻译可能还是要放在左边。
OK, yes, you can do that. Yes. And now the slide. Are you going to present the slide or do the slide for you?
yeah, we will have slides, and I will share my screen, for example, and then we will just go through the slides, and so that will be how we will explain, you know, the flow in the workshop is slide by slide. Also, you saw the script and you have all the slides already, and we will follow it more or less how we send it to you. There will of course be maybe some more explanation, because maybe there will be questions, and or maybe we will lose time at some point, so we might do small changes along the way. It's always like that, but we will try to follow the flow as you saw it in the slides that I sent you already. So we will be sharing the screen, I guess. I can try to do it here so we can just see how it looks like. Just need to find them. It's here. Let's say like this, and maybe I just need to is it full screen, or how do you see it now?
It's how do you say full screen? Not a full screen, not yet.
Is this better?
它这个没有到完全错嘛，它应该可以给你一个 totally full screen，它这个其实还在页面里面，但是
We can see the bar on top of the screen.
Sorry?
It's not really a full screen.
It's actually it's not the real full screen. I still can see the whole PDF.
Charlotte, can I try to share my screen?
Yeah. So I will stop sharing. Yeah.
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 I think I don't have the right because I'm not a host, so it won't let me.
Oh yeah. Can we?
看一下那个 presentation 的 host。
是我这边可以设定，
因为谁开这个话题的人，他是可以。
Okay.
Can you see the screen now?
It's totally full screen now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and that looks fine in your room? People can... It looks fine?
Yes, it looks good.
Okay, so I guess, Sarah, we will just present directly from Figma. Is that what you suggest?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we know how we will present it. And then can you also see our faces at the same time? Because that might also be good.
Yeah, we'll see the spark and also your camera.
Yeah.
So we can also see in the slide at the same time. And
Cool.
Video. How about video? Would you play video during the workshop?
Could you say that again? It's difficult to hear.
Would you play video during the workshop?
The videos?
Yes. Do you have video?
No. Yeah. I mean, we are not using the videos directly in the workshops. The videos will be, more like front-load material that all the students can just go watch them before the workshop, and then after the workshop, they can use them as support for when they have to move on in the process. We are not going to use them in the workshop.
Okay. So don't
Yeah.
try 好，我们不会播放影片，所以之前传的影片是给学员事前或者事后，事前先准备，事后复习的时候看。
Did the students will the students get the videos beforehand?
Yes, they will get the video and also the guidebook.
Yeah. That's cool, because then they can choose to watch them before, or they can just use them afterwards to maybe to get more clarification or support when they have to work with the exercises afterwards. So that's good. It's just some backup material for them.
And then we'll have around 40 participants.
Yeah.
40 participants, and they will be divided into 8 groups. And they
Yeah.
will be sitting in this room in
Yeah.
groups. And then because the program starts from the morning, so they will be divided in groups in the morning, so they will be together for 2 days.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So good. And also, if they have discussed a little in the groups in the morning which SDG they would like to work with.
Yes. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. And of course, they can change their mind. That's totally fine. It's just so they have a little idea of what what interests them in the group, you know. So it's just nice, because then we can cut some time in the program and don't spend time on that. So they are familiar with the SDGs before we start up the workshop.
meeting就是早上我们就会先分组，然后分组之后，他们会要先决定他们下午要那个永续发展目标选哪一个当做他们下午讨论的主题。所以我们下午开始就可以直接进入课程，不用再花时间再分组跟决定讨论主题。Yes. And anything else?
I have some, we have some questions, Sarah and I, just a few questions. Let's say that participants or the groups, they have a question. And they need to ask a question because maybe there's something they don't understand with an exercise or something. So they will ask a question, and then you will, of course, translate it to us, and we will give an answer back. I think it could be useful if you could maybe write up the question in the chat, because then it's easier for Sarah and I to answer it. So maybe if there is a question, if you could just type it very quickly in the chat function here. Let's see. Will that be an idea?
Yes, I think it's good. And I can save time. Yes. And because next week it will be me, Tiffany, and we also have new colleague Deepak. She will also support in the workshop. Yeah. So no problem. We will have one writing the questions and type the questions in the chat.
Yeah. Cool. Just because sometimes there can be a little confusion, and if we can't really hear it, and so it's just better to have it in the chat maybe. So let's see how that works out. And also, when we come to, I guess, let me just point out where in the program it's in the end of the first phase. It's connected to slide, I'm just moving on here. It's on day 1. It's connected to slide 19. It's the exercise called Describe the Challenge, where the groups have to do a little description or a short description on describing the problem or the challenge they would like to work with, focusing on the user and the context as well. And Sarah and I, we need that to be very clear to us what the 8 different groups choose to work with. So maybe some of the groups can write it up in English, we don't know, but we also want these short descriptions in the chat as fast as we can get them, because then we know much better what they are working with. So when we get there in the program, And it doesn't have to be correct English or anything, just so we have an understanding, Sarah and I, of what is going on and how the groups are doing. I will just find the program to see.
One person collecting, because we also create Google Hapster, also we have a chat room.
Yeah.
So they can send it, which is a line chat room, because not the student participant will log into the meeting room, Google Meet. So they can share their questions or description of their challenge in line, and then we will copy and paste the chat, the Google Meet chat room, so you can see their description of challenge.
Yeah. And they will of course also just present them, not long presentations, but just maximum 3 minutes per group, but just so, because it's important that all the 8 groups are also learning from each other, and to listen to the other groups challenges is very useful and a very important learning, but it's also very important that we know exactly what they choose to work with, because then it's easier also to support them later in the workshop. But on day 1 around 3:30, we have to work with these challenges, and then we need to write them up somehow so we can see the descriptions also. Just so, and it can, for our sake, it's okay, it's just in the chat, because they also had to work with them again the day after, just so we have an idea of where they are in the groups. Okay?
Just to clarify, so each group they still need to do like 3 minutes presentation to share, to describe the challenge. I will also share the description in English in the chat room with you and Sarah. Yeah. Okay. And also for that, we also have other participants not sitting in the room, but they are also joining virtually online. So they will also, some of them may have questions, so also you will receive questions from the sitting participants who will also share the question in the chat room.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. And yeah, and then then of course, just very important for the flow, when Sarah and I are presenting something or giving an instruction, should we then do it, like in small bites, and then you translate it, and then so it's so how will we do it? Let's say in the beginning, of course, we'll just present ourselves in the beginning, and then I start explaining a little about design thinking. Is it important that I pause it, just pause it and break it up so you can translate it along the way?
Yes, we'll do the translation. And then we'll, of course, we will not translate word by word, but we will summarize. So because most of the participants, they understand English, we just have to do a brief summary to make sure they understand correctly. So we don't need to spend a lot of time in the translation, just to make sure they understand you.
That's good, because it's just because last time when I was there a few years ago, when I was with Don in Don, he was translating for me in a workshop, and that was physically, and he would do it while I was talking, and I think it was a little confusing, because I think it's better that if I do breaks and then you will translate it, because it was like I couldn't really get the attention when I was talking and he was translating at the same time. So they had like headsets and stuff, but so that was just a little confusing to get connection to people. So I think it's better if we pause it. And okay, but the script that I sent you last week, Will all the participants have that in a translated version also?
Do you want them to have a script beforehand, or?
I think if they need it they can have it. Of course, it's not what Sarah and I will say word by word, but it could be maybe also as a support for them, so they can maybe follow along the way. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I can't really decide if it's a good idea. What do you think? Or is it just important for you to have it?
I think we can translate the script to Chinese. So the participants, they can have the slide and also the English and Chinese.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes if you give people too much material, then they don't listen because they think they can just read it and they forget to listen. So it's more up to you what you think is best for the students, to have a script or to follow us instead.
What about afterwards? If maybe to give them the script afterwards, so when they need clarification on something, then they have the script to look at. Maybe that's a way to
maybe
do
that's
it.
better to give it afterwards. Yeah, I think so too, because they might just concentrate only on the script then maybe and don't listen what we're saying.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, okay, it was just, I just had to think it through. Yeah? No, but I guess we also just have to see how it goes and just take it step by step when we get started. But I think it's important that when you are talking to us, if you hear us clearly, then it's okay. But when you're talking to us, I think you have to be very close to the microphone, and because there will also be some different noise in the room when you fill it up with 40 people. So I think the closer to the mic you can get, because there is some noise now we can hear, and the room is kind of swallowing up some of the words as well. So I guess it's more important to be very close to the microphone, so Sarah and I can hear clearly what you're trying to say to us. Yeah.
And it will be me and Tiffany do the translation next week. So we'll be sitting next to the microphone. How about now?
Yeah.
The sound is okay now?
Yeah.
Where you're stood now is the best it's been. So if you
It's just in front of the big screen.
That's so much better than anything else. So that's just good to remember for next week. That's really that's a lot better.
So now the sound is better. So
better.
Tiffany will be standing right next to the microphone, and we to the big screen.
Yeah. Okay, because you're not using this microphone, are you?
No, right now I'm not using microphone.
Yeah, it's because it's bouncing around the room, and then it's coming through our mic, and there's like Charlotte says, there's just like it's not very easy in our ear, but this is so good. Like how you are, I think that will work a lot better.
Okay, and because we also, by doing so, we're also next to the laptop. We can see the chat. Here.
Yeah. I think that's perfect. Yeah.
That's perfect. That's a good way to do it. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, and next week.
Yeah. Are the students looking forward to it?
I think
Do
so.
we know that?
I said that we have probably more than 40 participants.
Okay.
At the beginning, we would plan to recruit 40 participants, and last week I heard we probably will have more.
When will the university have the deadline for the presentations?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because we get the presentations in October, right, Charlotte?
Yeah.
So when will you receive the presentations?
we haven't
Will the
set up.
students?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to have the presentation like 1 week before, or because we haven't set up the deadline yet?
Okay.
No, we don't need them beforehand. It's just so because then we can tell them next week at least, so they know their own deadline for when to finish it.
Okay, then I'll discuss with Professor Chen about this.
Yeah.
Cool. That's great.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. So as long as if there are coming more participants than the 40 you expect for now, just make sure that they are already placed in a group before we start, so we don't have to spend time on creating the groups. That is just the most important. But you will do that in the morning, so that's so good.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Do you have more questions for us?
声音也是非常清楚。那现在的问题就是看那个需不需要，就是如果说那个讲师这边就是影片如果有问题的话，需不需要由我们台湾这边协助讲师播出这样子？
他们没有影片，他没有要播影片。
OK，
然后他们就会播那个简报，那简盘的旁边，那用麦克风讲话，他就说会有那个可能会有回，房间太大会有回音，所以我们这边尽量就是因为反正都叫翻译，就是学员如果有提问的话，一样我们这边翻译，或是在用那个是打在那个聊天室，那讲师就会看到问题。就唯一想，不过这应该是可以，是可以用这种方式来调整，可以克服的。
对，
好哦，那如果没有问题的话，我们今天的课程就到这边。
好，谢谢徐小姐。
Okay, Charlotte and Sarah, thank you for the time. And now, our technical team saying that the sound and video is very clear and good, and there will video good. So everything is good for now.
That's so good. Yeah, fine. So just let us know if there's anything else, but if not, then just see you online next week.
Yes, thank you.
Looking forward.
Yes,
take care.
See you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. 是一零线的。哦，那看起来是可以。所以就是学文，我记得陈老师有说他们会有一个 line group，大家的群组。昨天刚问我是学员的吗？